Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I'm excited to be bringing you a post-season game from Season 3 of the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed. Now I know it has been a long time since the season actually ended, but this has been a battle that has been sort of a long time in the planning, and it is against my very good friend Evelyn, aka H2O Drink It. Her links will be down in the description below. Please do go and check out her Twitter and her YouTubes. She has some fantastically funny videos. She's one of my favourite people around. And yeah, I'm pretty sure she wanted this battle more for the rap battle than anything else. So that of course went up on the channel, I think probably yesterday it will have gone up. And this is the battle. No team building video, because you know, that will just take time that I quite simply don't have at the moment. Those team building videos, they take a lot of time, a lot of editing goes into them, and I just don't really have time to do it. So, I'll be going over the team briefly, you know, before we get into the battle. Now, Evelyn, Herdier Bremen, her team. She's got an interesting team, you know. She, of course, was in Division 2 this season, had a pretty decent season, actually. And her team that she could have chosen to go against me. Alakazam, Scizor, Dugtrio, Thundurus Incarnate, Feraligatr, Venomoth, Darmanitan, Lipard, Mr. Maymay himself, and of course, Bunnelby. So, I was kind of expecting her to bring Bunnelby to this game. You know, it's a post-season game and Evelyn is a master memer. And she was threatening to sweep me with a special Bunnelby, which I was terrified of. So, you know, I was expecting a meme team. I actually bought a fairly try-hard team, you know. I built this team a long time ago, sort of very much straight after the season had ended, so I was still in sort of proper team building mode for this game. So, the team I decided to bring, what I've got is a Choice Scarfed, Physical mainly, Electabuzz, Wild Charge, Volt Switch, Ice Punch and Fire Punch. Fairly good coverage across the entirety of her team. Fire Punch there for the likes of Scizor, Venomoth, Ice Punch will hit a few things quite hard as well. We've got an Assault Vest Mesprit, very bulky, lots of special defense, plenty of special attack in there as well, a little bit of speed to speed creep some of her mons. We've got Shadow Ball, Hidden Power, Fire, Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. Once again, we're not bringing Stab because the coverage hits our team better. We've got physically defensive Kabutops with the Rocky Helmet, Rock Slide, Aqua Jet, Stealth Rock and Knockoff. They're mainly to deal with that Darmanitan, who is a problem and a threat and is super spooky. We have got Tornadus. Now, I know, missed a lot of Hurricanes this season, but we've got a Resto Chesto Prankster set here with Rest, Sleep Talk, Acrobatics and Bulk Up, which should be nice. Lots of HP, lots of special defense, and a decent amount of speed in there as well. I think to outspeed pretty much anything unboosted on her team that isn't, you know, the Alakazam or the Thundurus. We have got a Choice Scarfed Crocodile with Earthquake, Rock Slide, Fire Fang, and Beat Up. Beat Up is there to try and deal with that Alakazam if it's going to be Focus Sashed. We've got Max Speed, Max Attack, Jolly. Final member of the team, that is going to be a physically defensive Sylveon. Hyper Voice, Hidden Power Ground, Wish, and Protect. Very standard sort of stuff going on there for a defensive Sylveon. Now, Evelyn's team, as you can see, she has bought from left to right. Mr. Maymay, the Dugtrio, Thundurus, shout out to my Season 2 Thundurus, Darmanitan, Feraligatr, and Alakazam. So, not as memey as I thought. There's no Bunnelby, there's no Lipard, and there's no Venomoth, among other things. No Scizor either, which is good. You know, Sylveon's going to have a bit more of an easy time. So I was looking at this team thinking, okay, well it's not a sort of memey team. Little did I know. This is Evelyn, I should have known better. But, it's going to be an interesting one. I look forward to this game. I was looking forward to it for a very long time. It has been delayed because, you know, IRL stuff. I haven't had much time on my hands, but this is a game I was always going to be looking forward to, the post-game, the post-season game versus Evelyn. So without further ado, let's just get right into the battle and see exactly how things played out. So, I'm going to be leading with my Assault Vest Mesprit, possibly Alakazam, but it's going to be the Thundurus. I don't fear this thing too much. I know it'll outspeed. She just actually goes for the U-turn, which does a decent amount of damage, and she's going to U-turn AJ Styles right on into her Darmanitan because threat. I just go for Ice Beam here, looking to try and deal damage to the Thundy, and I get the first turn freeze. Now this doesn't matter because of course Flare Blitz will thaw her out. It does force her to go for the Flare Blitz first turn, which means I can just go straight into Kabutops to absolutely tank that hit. And as you can see, it's exactly what happens. I tank it, she takes recoil and Rocky Helmet and is being worn down. Now here, I know she's switching out, so I don't have to go for priority. Evelyn is in fact going to go into her Dug Trio, the New Day, as I just go for a knockoff, and I knock off a Whatmel Berry. Brilliant build on her part, predicting my Mega Sizz for the Fire-type natural gift, but I am going to be able to follow up with an Aqua Jet, and Old Man Tarp's going to notch a KO in the postseason. Great stuff. So, Evelyn's going to go into Thunderous. I can't stay in, I don't want to be taking a Thunderbolt anytime soon. So, going to switch on out, going to go into my Sylveon to tank that hit, thinking she might be physical because we'd seen U-turn, but I can also take a Thunderbolt. She's actually going to U-turn again, making the good play, knowing that I was going to switch on out. And she's going to go into Mr. Mime. Now, I don't fear this, but we're going to see a very interesting set, because as you're going to see, Evelyn's going to go, after I switch out into my my Mesprit, Evelyn is in fact going to here go for Metronome and get Bug Bite, which does tiny damage, but Metronome Mr. Mime. She's going to go for it again, get Present and heal me up. So I was absolutely loving this. Evelyn is such a fantastic person with her meme sets. I absolutely love it. Shadow Ball's going to do a clean 50-odd%. She doesn't want to stay in with Mr. Mime. She's going to switch on out and go into Gator, who can tank a Shadow Ball very easily indeed. As you can see, I go for it. It does 29%. Now, I can't take the risk of this thing setting up, so I'm going to stay in as she goes for Sub, which is scary, but I'm not taking risks. I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt here. What this means is she's pretty much forced to attack me with Crunch. I know it's coming, so this time I am going to switch out. Going to go into Sylveon, physically defensive. Evelyn's going to go for the Crunch, and it's going to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. We tank that hit. But once again, I am going to have to stay in here and attack because I don't want to setting up the DD. She's going to go for Waterfall. It does 56%, big damage, but I don't flinch. Sylveon's going to go for Hyper Voice, and that is going to take down the Gator, so another big threat has been wiped off the face of Evelyn's team. Now, as I get my leftovers back, Evelyn is going to in fact bring in her Mr. Mime. Now again, I don't fear this. I am going to be able to go for the Wish, and she's going to get the Unstabbed Dragon coverage from Metronome. There's the Roar of Time. Brilliant stuff. Absolute fantastic comedy stuff going on here. Absolutely love it. So I get the Wish. Once again, I do not fear this Mr. Mime. I'm not going to go for Protect. She's going to go the Bone Meringue off of the Metronome, as I'm just going to go for a Hidden Power Ground right about now, just to get some chip damage onto the Mr. Mime. So I get my Wish back. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be able to go for another Wish and go from there. So Evelyn goes for Metronome, gets Quiver Dance, and I'm like, oh hell no. No, we are not having this. I can't Hyper Voice because clearly this is going to be soundproof. So I go for Wish, and now that she's at +1 special attack, I'm like, okay, no, not having this. Going to be able to go into my Assault Vest Mesprit right about now to try and tank any hit she's going to go for. She's going to go for Metronome and pull Double Slap. Double Slap Mr. Mime. Shout out to Jedi from the Battle Union. Loved seeing that. I absolutely cracked up at this. It was fantastic. Double Slap Mr. Mime coming through. She's going to go for Metronome and get entrainment, give me some soundproof, which is nice and completely useless. As I go for Shadow Ball, and even at +1 special defense, that is going to take out the Mr. Mime, another KO for the season for Mesprit. So, in comes the Darmanitan. I'm like, I don't want to take a Flare Blitz. No, not about this life. So, gonna get on out of there, not taking this hit. Gonna go into Kabutops, who's gonna be able to tank the Flare Blitz once again as per usual. Rocky Helmet, recoil damage. And at this point, I am just gonna go for the Aqua Jet, and that is gonna take out Smojo the Dom. So another kill for Kabutops, actually finally doing some good work for me, which is nice. So in now comes the Alakazam, and this is going to get interesting because here she reveals Magic Room, no effects on items, and I'm just like, okay, what's going on? I don't like this. So I get Rocks up, here I go for Aqua Jet for chip damage, expecting her to take me out. Evelyn's actually packing the foul play because this is a mainly physical Alakazam, because Evelyn is a lord. She goes for Knockoff. Gets rid of my Rocky Helmet, which doesn't damage her because Magic Guard and I guess, you know, Magic Room as well. So I'm going to go for Knockoff, a third KO for Old Man Tops, and down goes Alakazam. So now Evelyn has one Mon left, and it is going to be the Thunderous. This is where things get interesting. She's going to go for Substitute here, with her Prankster outspeeding my Aqua Jet, which she then lives, which is kind of scary. And now she's going to go for a Nasty Plot. Sub-Nasty Plot, terrifying, don't like that at all. I am going to go for Aqua Jet and take out the Sub. Now here, I don't want her to be behind a sub at all, so I am just going to go for the knockoff here, but Evelyn's going to go for Thunderbolt and take out my Kabutops, but it's fine. I have Scarfed Crook who outspeeds this, and I can just go for a nice, safe beat up, take this thing out absolutely fine, and she outspeeds me. And I was like, what? Now, of course, Thunderbolt doesn't affect me. I'm going to go for beat up and take her out here. Turns out she was using the Choice Scarf Magic Room set to set up and then outspeed things, which was absolutely wonderful. I love it. Fantastic stuff, Evelyn. But Thundy goes down, and that is going to be the game. Absolutely hilarious game. I loved every minute of that. Evelyn is an amazing person with her sets. Big shout out to Magic Room, a favourite move of mine that I've experimented with before in the past. And yeah, using that Magic Room to set up behind a sub and then be scarfed with +2 special attack and start trying to smash things up with Thunderbolt, which was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant once again. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And of course, Mr. Mime. Metronome Mr. Mime pulling double slap of all things Jedi. I hope you are watching this video, because that was unbelievable. Of all the moves she could have pulled, she managed to pull double slap with the Mr. Mime. But yeah, that was a 5-0 victory for us, and I do feel bad because, you know, Evelyn brought the meme sets, but when I built this team, as I say, it was shortly after the end of the season, so I was still in proper try-hard mode. So Evelyn, once again, I do apologise for that. It was a sort of mismatch in terms of sets, but you know, what are you going to do? We do manage to take the win there, so a nice 5-0 post-season win over Evelyn. Of course, as I've said, her links will be down in the description below, so check them out. You will not be disappointed. Her content is absolutely wonderful, and she says funny things on Twitter as well. So yeah, that is going to be it from this video, so thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. Bit of a shorter one. It's been a while, obviously, since the end of the season, so I'm not sure if we want to have any kind of recap of the season. You know, it's been a long time, so I'm not sure if we're gonna. Sorry about that. My mic was didn't seem to pick up any sound there. Don't know what's going on, but we seem to be fine. Okay, back on track. We are very professional here. But yes, where was I? I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, that is going to be it from this one. Let me know if you want to see any kind of, you know, post-season recap kind of video going up. It's doing it again. I have to see if this thing can be fixed or anything. Something's going on. Not really sure what it is, but yeah, that's that, as I say, is gonna wrap things up. I don't know if you heard anything on there. That was weird. Yeah. That was strange. Yeah. As I say, I'm probably just gonna get out of here now. So my final thank you to you all for watching, and I guess with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.